SSR is antidepressants, and the serotonin myth form one of the most misunderstood topics in mental health. For decades, the public was told a simple story. Depression happens because your brain doesn't have enough serotonin, and SSRs fix that chemical imbalance. It sounded scientific. It was easy to explain, and it made millions believe depression had a single biological cause. But the truth is far more complex, and the science behind SSR is very different from the marketing that made them famous. Let's start with the serotonin idea itself. In the 1960s and 70s, researchers noticed that drugs affecting monoamines, serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, could influence mood. So the theory emerged, maybe depression is caused by a deficiency in these chemicals. But this was always a hypothesis, not a proven fact. No study ever showed that people with depression consistently have low serotonin levels. There's no blood test, no brain scan, no reliable biomarker that confirms a serotonin deficit. Over time, scientists quietly abandoned the chemical imbalance explanation, but the public never got the memo. Now, here's where things get interesting. Even though the serotonin theory is incomplete, SSRs still work, just not for the reasons most people think. When you take an SSRI, the immediate effect is blocking the reuptake of serotonin in synapses. But that's just the beginning. The real therapeutic effects happen weeks later, when the brain gradually changes its structure and sensitivity. SSR is influence receptor density, neuroplasticity, inflammation, emotional processing circuits, and stress response pathways. They reduce the reactivity of the amygdala, improve communication between the prefrontal cortex and emotional centers, and help regulate rumination and anxiety loops. These deeper changes, not serotonin levels alone, explain why some people feel better over time. But SSRIs are not magic, and they do not work for everyone. Their average effect is modest, and they tend to work better in moderate or severe depression than in mild cases. That's because depression is not a single condition. It can come from chronic stress, trauma, genetics, sleep issues, inflammation, social isolation, or cognitive patterns that trap the mind in negative loops. SSR is help only when the underlying biology aligns with the pathways they affect. This is why some people experience life-changing relief, while others feel little to nothing. The placebo effect also plays a major role, not because SRs are fake, but because expectation and hope influence the brain. In trials, even placebo groups show significant improvement. But SSRs produce measurable changes that placebos do not: reduced threat responses, altered emotional bias, and shifts in connectivity between brain regions. The overlap between expectation and biology is part of why antidepressants are hard to study, but still helpful for many. There's also the issue of stopping SSRIs. Many people think they're addicted because they feel withdrawal. But SSRIs are not chemically addictive. They simply alter neural signaling in ways that require time to reverse. Symptoms like dizziness, irritability, or brain zaps are signs of the brain recalibrating too quickly. Tapering slowly almost always reduces these effects. So the real question becomes, do antidepressants actually work? The answer is yes, but not in the way most people were taught. They don't correct a serotonin imbalance. They don't create happiness. What they do is soften emotional intensity, reduce constant threat detection, and give the brain a calmer internal environment. That extra space makes it easier to sleep, think clearly, reconnect socially, and make changes that were impossible under the weight of severe symptoms. SSRIs don't fix your life. They help you regain enough stability to fix it yourself. And that's the deeper truth. Depression is multidimensional. Biological, psychological, and social factors all interact, and SSRIs are just one tool among many. For some people, they are life-saving. For others, they're ineffective. Understanding how they actually work and why the serotonin story was oversimplified helps remove both the stigma and the false expectations surrounding antidepressants. Follow and like for more science-based mental health insights.